was curious if you heard the news this morning about 5 members of the union and some union executives traveling to the Vatican to meet with the Pope to talk about social justice and those initiatives. It's, they had an audience in the Papal Library. They gave him some gifts. Jonathan Isaac gave him a Magic jersey, which is just weird, but whatever. What's it mean to you that, it was the Pope, it was one of the assistants for the Pope that initiated the meeting. And it's because of what you guys did in the bubble, what you stood for, what what the message was. What does that say that it resonates all the way to the Vatican, the power that players can have right now in these times?
I think it's a very unique, special and powerful time for NBA players and the ability to use our platforms for something obviously much bigger than ourselves right now. And, I think that in general, players do a pretty good job, but right now it's just so important to speak about issues that really matter. And I saw it on social media this morning that those 5 players were going to meet with the Pope. And when you just hear like someone's going to meet with the Pope, you're thinking some sort of high elected official or, something of that nature. And the fact that, we have players going over there to meet and speak on different issues it's clear that we were able to make our voices heard and that we use our platforms correctly. And that moving forward, this is still something we want to continue the conversation about. And it's just, it's awesome that we're making strides. And so that was, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that is incredibly powerful and very special.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Ira Winderman, go ahead. Ira?
Might be muted.
All right, we'll move on. Ethan Skolnick, go ahead, Ethan.
Hey, Meyers, congratulations on the return. Can you kind of go through a little bit of the process here? Because I know that, towards the end, I know you had expressed publicly that you were looking for playing time as well and kind of wanted to see where that went. But you also had said that you wanted to be in Miami if you could be. Take us through how this came about.
I did a lot of talking with my agent, talking with my wife, and also just personally thinking to myself, what it is that I wanted, I guess. And, I felt an immediate connection when I got to Miami. And one thing that's interesting about it is when I was in Portland, I always wondered what it would be like to get traded because I'm a very loyal person. I always wanted it to work there. And all of a sudden I get traded to Miami and everything just seems to click right away. I think that culturally, the core values of sorts that I kind of live my life by, really, character, work ethic, discipline, loyalty, those things. That's what the Miami Heat seem to be about, and they are about. And that matters to me. I play this game because I love it, number one, and I love to compete and I love to win. There's obviously, there's a reason I have an agent because you have a market value and all these things, but that's not what I'm concerned with. I care about people and the type of teammates that I have and those sorts of things. So, there was other interests around the league, but ultimately I knew in my heart that I wanted to come back to Miami. It just, again, as a man and as a player, first of all, it felt like there was unfinished business for our team and for me because, obviously going through the ankle injury was not easy. And, I feel like I could have helped in many different ways. And we had a ton of success and I was happy about that. And everything that I showed was very authentic. That's just who I am. No matter what my role in that moment is, I'm always going to be the best teammate that I can be and the best person that I can be. But I would be lying if I said it wasn't hard, knowing that when I was on the floor, we were having success. And that was the first time in my career that I had that chance consistently, certainly with meaningful minutes. So, you know what? I'm just going to show up to camp as ready as possible. Same thing as I did last year. I didn't know what to expect. I figured I'd probably get some minutes, but I didn't think that I was going to start. And then all of a sudden, we had a ton of success. That was, I guess, a testament to the work that I had put in and the player that I had become. And, that it just made sense and that lineup worked. So all I know is that Meyers Leonard's going to show up ready to work as hard as he possibly can, be a great teammate, and see what happens.
Okay,
Thanks,
our next question will be from Anthony Chang.
Hey, Meyers, congratulations on the contract. You spoke about a little bit there, but how much, the ankle, how much of that was a reason do you think for maybe the role change, when the season restarted? How much of that was still an issue? And is the hope that, you had a few months more to heal here, that you'll return to that, that role you just spoke about where you're playing 20, 25 minutes a game, maybe starting?
Well, the ankle had a lot to do with it. Really, I think it was everything to do with it. I actually haven't had a in-depth conversation with Spo or anybody about this. I guess it's my own thoughts and feelings, but because of my ankle, I wasn't able to move and do the things I needed to do. And that was when Spo, after, some practices and some of those initial games, it was pretty clear I just wasn't myself at the time. And I think to myself, well, if I were healthy, I think maybe there would have been a decrease in minutes, but I don't think it wouldn't have been the way it was. Now, I don't know that for certain, but all I do know is what I can do moving forward, and that's come in the same way that I did last year. I always feel like I have something to prove anyways. This isn't, there's no, I guess, expectation from me. I still need to prove it. I want to show my teammates, that I'm still a very good player, which I am. And that, I've been working on a few different things in LA, working on getting my shot off quicker, and just a few other things that I'm not going to give to you guys, but just becoming a more well-rounded player. And, it's just nothing is ever given. And I'd rather it be that way anyways. I think I've shown my teammates and Spo and the rest of his staff what I'm capable of, but I also know that I am capable of more, but I have to show that, and I have to show up ready to go and compete at a high level, which is always the expectation here anyways. So, I know that I can impact the game every single night. I know that I do little things that don't show up in the stat sheet, which I'm fine with. I don't care. I mean, I've had conversations with people throughout free agency to say, oh, Meyers, what about, you probably need to take a few more shots or try to track down a few more rebounds. I don't give a shit. I just don't. I care about winning. I care about, all right, if I need to take out the best offensive rebounder on their team every single play and allow for Bam or whomever to come get the rebound, and the Miami Heat get the rebounds, and then the Miami Heat win the game, that's all I care about. If I go stand on the wing or go stand in the corner, and that allows for our younger guys and Jimmy and other people to have opportunities to attack the rim, and because I'm pulling the 5 away from the rim, which is unnatural, then that's what I'm going to do. I just simply don't care. People, well, you got to have numbers in order to get a contract. I said, look, I think that I'm in a place where they know the type of value that I can bring and that it's very unique. And you know what? I'm not going to change the way I play the game. I refuse to do that. I don't chase numbers. So that's how I feel about it. I'm going to work my tail off, and you know what? I appreciate that. I think they saw that in me continually over the film that I'm sure they've watched a million different times.
All right, our next question will be from Ira Winderman.
Hopefully it works this time. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can, Ira.
Wow. Okay. This is modern technology, you young kids. Hey, Meyers, when we spoke to you, I think all of us did, when you were on the beer bus heading west, you told us among your prime considerations was going to be finding a spot where you could.
So what I would say is that that's just the competitive side of me. I mean, I'm not going to say to the media, I'd love to play 8 minutes a game if I could. I do know that I can impact the game every night. And I was right around 20 minutes last year. and feeling like, this is the first time that I've really played consistently like this in my career, and I could do more. And so that's where that came from. Now, that confidence has been instilled in me, towards the tail end of my time in Portland, and I really was starting to play a lot better and impact the game every night. And then also, to be truthful, learning it from someone like Spo. He always talked about the chip on all of our shoulders last year and kind of the edge that gave us. And, it's almost, I guess, like a learned behavior. I don't want to settle. Now, as you saw when I got hurt, whatever role I'm put in, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it well. So, you know what? I knew in my heart that Miami made a lot of sense, and I was hopeful that we would find a way to work it out. And that's what happened. There's really no other way to say it. Again, there was interest, sure, but other places, but ultimately I wanted to come back here to Miami. I really, really enjoyed this city. I love the sunshine. Okay.
You're back on now.
I apologize. I love the city. My wife and I, particularly my wife, loves the sunshine. Again, just the cultural fit, what they stand for on and off the floor. And also my teammates too. I just felt an immediate connection. I said this recently to somebody in the media, just like watching what Jimmy did and, having played with him and understanding how much of an impact he has on the game on both sides of the ball. Like, it made me feel like I could just run through a wall during all of my offseason training, which I have. I've been training like an absolute animal. I was inspired, and I am thankful that clearly they saw value in me. And also the fact that I can just be myself as a man and as a player. That's the most freeing feeling there is. I can, be myself off the floor with my energy and my enthusiasm and all those things, and just totally be myself. And then on the floor, as I mentioned, like, I'm okay with setting hard screens, boxing out, spacing the floor, doing all the things that, like, oh, well, Meyers only averages 6 points and 5 rebounds. I don't give a damn. I don't care. The competitive side of me, sure. Would I love to average 20 and 10? Yeah. Is that going to happen this year? Probably not. But I can tell you one thing. I'm going to do my damn best to help the Miami Heat win basketball games, and that's all I care about.
And then one quick follow-up on your living situation. Do you get to rent that house again for another year? And what's going to happen there with your rental agreement? Thank you.
Sure. Let's just say that area is obviously highly sought after, and the rent is going to be significantly higher. So I think we're going to move on, and we just want to change the scenery. It's not that that was natural. They should do that for the area that home is in. But I think Ellie and I wouldn't mind a little change of scenery anyways, just to,
All right, our next question will be from Brendan Tobin.
Hey, Meyers. Wanted to get your thoughts on the type of offseason this was, the quick turnaround that you guys are going to have more so than any other team other than the Lakers. Did you feel like you have enough time to decompress, and how does it compare to training and getting yourself geared up for the season starting so quick for you guys?
Sure. Great question. You know what? Here's what I'll say. I'm a blue collar guy at heart, and I am blessed and thankful always. I will continue to say that, and I mean that. I am going to show up and be prepared whenever I'm asked to do so. Do I wish I had more time? Yes, absolutely. You plan your off season a certain way with the expectation of a certain thing happening, and then all of a sudden that's significantly shrunk. I figured I probably had at least a month and a half, maybe 2 months to train in LA, really get some high quality work in for an extended period. And then I was, I wouldn't say shocked by the news, because, that's just the reality of the situation. There's a lot of money on the line for players, the TV deal. There's just a lot of logistical things that I think a lot of people don't quite understand or know about that really play a role in the decision of starting this soon. So again, I'm going to show up ready, and I'll do everything I possibly can in this shortened period to get myself as ready as possible coming into camp. But I'd be lying if I said that I wish I had some more time for many things, such as more time with my wife, more time to just decompress. Being in the bubble was a unique experience. The end of the bubble was much easier for me because I had my wife, and we were winning games, and among other things, I lost my starting job, and then the anthem. It was like there was a lot of mental things that I was dealing with in the bubble. But you know what? It is what it is, and I'll be ready. And I guess that's just the reality of the situation. It's definitely shorter than I guess personally I would have liked, but too bad. I'm an NBA player that gets paid well to play a game that I love. So I'll show up ready.
All right, our next question will be from Cooper Moorhead.
I'm curious as you can't see me, I'm gesturing everywhere, how much everything with the pandemic is factoring into decisions. You can only speak for yourself, but just for guys making all these decisions for their lives league-wide.
You're saying, considering that we're, there's not going to be a bubble and COVID is still a very real thing?
Just everything that has to do with it. I mean, the way it's affecting the way the league is operating right now, the abbreviated offseason. Can you factor that in, or do you have to just pretend like this is normal? I'm just making a normal free agency decision.
Oh, no, that wasn't factored in. You know what? It's just that's the reality of the world we are living in. There are plenty of people who have lost their jobs, and there are plenty of small businesses, for example, where I come from, that didn't make it. And honestly, that there is a reason that I took the Coors Light RV all the way across the country, because I wanted to go back home to Illinois, and I wanted to see my friends and family and spend quality time to remind myself, of who I am and why I am the way I am, and just to spend quality time with my family. So, you know what? There's a lot worse things going on right now than for me to be concerned with, the league having to start quicker, or, whatever other difficult situations I might be put into. At the end of the day, I'm a blessed individual. My wife and I are so damn thankful for each and every opportunity, and certainly for this opportunity to come back to Miami. And you know what? It's just the reality. I said on a podcast, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago that, look, we're not going to be in a bubble. At least it doesn't sound like it right now. We're going to be on planes, back in hotels, traveling. People are going to get COVID. And it's just how we got to figure out how people are going to respond. What type of quarantine are these people going to go into? And people were freaking out. like I thought I was some sort of Einstein, one or two, that, there's no way people are going to get COVID. Yeah, people are going to. Let's just look at the facts. We can be as safe as we possibly want to be. I hope that doesn't happen, but we just have to figure things out. That's how I live my life anyways. You know what? I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to work hard, and everything else will figure itself out. And you know what? I know that the league is trying its absolute best. Same with the Player Association. The bubble was obviously a massive success, 0 positive tests. I thought they did an unbelievable job taking care of us and allowing for us to compete and finish last year. And they're doing their absolute best right now. So again, I always just come back to, and whatever, I'm going to show up and do my job, and just allow for people in other positions to tell me what to do, because I'm okay with that.
All right, Meyers, and our final question will be from Christos Saltas from SDNA Greece.
Hello, Meyers. Congrats on your new contract.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you, we saw last year that you are a player who has always positive vibes off the bench, on the court. what are your role about next season, and how special is this team of your point of view?
Sorry, did you ask about my role first?
About your role first of all, and how special is this team of your point of view?
Listen, I know I can help us win games. That's for certain. I know I can. I showed that last year. You know, again, I know that I'm a unique player. I've shot, I think, above 40% for the last 3 years. I don't know that me and like Karl Anthony Towns, I think, are the only 7-footers to ever do that in NBA history. So I could shoot the ball for a big man. I can give us space. You know, I know that I can help us win, period. And I'll leave it at that. And, you know, we do have a special team coming in. You know, I played with Moe Harkless in Portland. Great guy, great teammate, always has a smile on his face, versatile, long, athletic, good defender, good hands, can knock down a three, good at playing along the baseline and finishing at the rim. So, and then obviously, you know, when I was with Dame and CJ in Portland, I saw Avery Bradley, you know, give them trouble. And that's hard for, you know, an individual to do. Dame and CJ are very talented players, and he always seemed to be an incredible on-ball defender. You know, he's a competitor, and, you know, his name carries weight in this league. So it's clear that he'll be able to help us as well. So another very deep team coming into this season, guys that want to win, guys that play the game the right way. And as it pertains to me, as I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to show up, be a great teammate, be a great person, and work my ass off. That's all I know how to do. And I've shown that I can, I can help impact winning. And so it's not, I don't really think it's that complicated for me. So that's how I feel about it. But I'm very excited for this season. I think we have a very deep team. You know, last year we obviously showed a lot of things, came up a little short, but you know, that I'm sure that's going to put, you know, fuel the fire for everybody else, just as it has me. So.
All right, Meyers, we appreciate your time. Thank you. Happy to have you back. And for the media still on the call, Goran is going to be joining us next. I believe he's with us.
Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys later.